Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. How are you? Hope you're happy and healthy, doing the things you love. It is Monday, the start of a new week. Champions League is back. European football et al. Is back. Well, we've got some things to discuss before then, as the Premier League is starting to take shape. 4 games completed, and Manchester City made light work of Manchester United last night. And Burnley were very unfortunate to not take something out of their game against title favourites Liverpool, who always manage to find a way. We're going to talk about those. We're going to be talking about the other games. We'll talk about a few other things around the houses, around European football, as Cremonese might be going top if they win this evening. And my team, Elche, my club, well, they are sitting pretty as well, undefeated in La Liga. It's all to play for. A very, very interesting show, hopefully, on the analysis and the reviews of everything that's gone. There's also some other bits and pieces going around in the football world, as there is every day. Guys, please do us a favour, smash that like button if you don't mind. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment or two. Let us know your thoughts on today's topics as we get through. Just quietly as well, this video is sponsored by okjersey.com, the greatest place to get your replica shirts. You can't ask better than £15, £16 a shirt, whatever your makeup, whatever you like, your badges, your numbers, your names, your teams. Well, maybe you can. And you know what? Not only can you ask for better than that, you can get better than that if you actually use code FINC, F-I-N-C, at the checkout. You will receive an extra 8% off, you lucky little lots. Last thing before I come over to see how Johnny's doing is, of course, guys, the admin around the podcast space. We are trying to grow the podcast side of the channel. So if you do get a chance, if you do happen to enjoy content via Apple Pods or Amazon and Spotify and all that stuff, then you can find us there. Check out Football Inc. You can see the links in the description. Please give us a 5-star rating and a review, and also a follow. Johnny, my man, 2 minutes of intro. How are you, buddy? How are you?
Very well. For those watching on audio, yeah, you audio guys, you love a listen, but you don't like a follow. But no, listen, guys, great to have all of you here. It's been an interesting weekend, Sean. Some surprises, some usual scripts. Liverpool, again, showing resilience. Just unbelievable, some of the results that they've pulled out the hat. But we'll go on to that a bit later. Amorim, walking the tightrope. Russell Martin at Rangers walking a tightrope. Potter walking a tightrope as well. There's definitely lots to talk about in the bottom half of the tables and those that are struggling. But there's also the signs, the early signs of those who are going to be going headlong into a title race. Signs that Manchester City, could they finally be back? Now they've got the trio back of Rodri, Foden, and Haaland. They certainly look like it. So, listen, we all want a competitive top, a competitive bottom. We want everything going down to the wire. Makes it more exciting. The one thing we know, Sean, in this league, anyone can beat anyone on any God-given day.
100%, mate. Listen, let's before we get to the Premier League, mate, shall we just take a little gander, a little stroll through Europe and see what is happening in some of our second teams and take a little look-see at what took place? Or do you want to start with the Premier League?
Yeah.
We'll go overseas first, shall we?
We'll start that, yeah.
Okay, then, time. You know what time it is for, guys? It's jingle time. Let's go.
It's that time once again. It's time to check in. We're going round the world to all our second teams.
Let's take a little stroll into La Liga, shall we, my man? And let's start with. Should we start with your team, your club, Athletic Bilbao? In fact, let's have a look first and foremost at the table. No, we'll do the table after. Sorry, my bad. I'm all over the place this morning. Let's take a little look at your club, Athletic Club de Bilbao. Oh, you know what, mate? On the 19th of October, guess who they're playing? They're playing Elche, and we love to see it. It's going to be.
That's going to be a proper game.
We should do a live stream for that. A watch along.
If we can do a watch along. I'm just trying to find the game now for that one. Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, we lost at home to Alaves.
Alaves, though they're fourth in the league. Alaves, I think, or fifth in the league.
But we lost at home, mate. Come on, you got to be. If you want to be getting up there, you can't be losing at home. And it's not like we didn't have a decent lineup. A decent, strong team out. So there shouldn't be any reason for losing that. But they are
goal against the result. Alejandro Berenguer Ramiro, 57th minute own goal, mate. And the stats, however, just to give you a little bit of comfort, you did actually dominate possession. You had 58% possession. You outpassed them. You outpassed them accuracy-wise. You smashed them with shots and shots on target, but unfortunately, you conceded a sloppy own goal, mate, that took all the points back to Alaves. What are you thinking, mate?
Listen, fourth after 4 games, you got to be happy with that. Real Madrid, we're 3 points behind Real Madrid, but it came as a bit of a shock. I expected to win that game. And it came as a bit of a shock that we didn't. On the other hand, your team,
Elche, 2-2 away from home against Seville. Mate, we're doing a little bit of okay, Elche, mate. They're a newly promoted team, undefeated in 4. Andre Silva and Rafa Mir getting they equalised. So Isaac Romero took Seville 1-0 up in the 28th minute. Then Silva pulls it back to level playing field, and then Rafa Mir, he takes us into the lead in the 70th. It's only for a late screamer from Gerard Fernandez in the 85th minute that got them back in the game, mate. And we sit 8th in the league, played 4, 1-1, drawn 3, scored 6, conceded 4, mate. We're a difficult team to beat, mate. Difficult team to beat. Until I die.
Can I ask you a question, Sean? I can't remember. I just need to quickly check. Was the chat team Sevilla or Valencia?
The Valencia was the chats team. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was. I just was checking.
Valencia currently sit 15th, not doing a lot. First played for 1-1, drawn 1, lost 2, a negative 4 goal difference, and they got smashed yesterday 6-0 away to Barcelona. Not a pretty game. Doubles for Fermin Lopez, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. Three double bubbles, 3 braces in that game. Valencia, your clubs, people, your club, you need to brace yourself for a tumultuous early season. It's not looking good for Valencia right now.
And they're 15th. They're sitting in 15th place at the moment, and I think they're going to have to pull out all the stops this season. It's early days, Sean. It's 4 games in.
It is early days, mate. It is early days.
It's early days.
We wouldn't be remiss of us not to welcome Gary Officer into the next year of his life. Congratulations, mate. Happy birthday. Just poured yourself a morning coffee. I hope it's Irish.
Morning, Derek. Morning, Nathan. Nathan McCreary, I think, who's sitting in, 12th spot or in the Fantasy Football League. Much to his own shock.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, Gary, mate. Hope you enjoy your day. Welcome everyone in. Appreciate everybody. And Nathan, you're looking very, very good, mate, in the Fantasy League. We'll be doing that towards the end of the show. Please, guys, do smash that like button. Let's poodle on over to Italy, mate, shall we? Take a little look-see at Serie A. And who we got there? The clubs over there are, you got your team, Cremonese.
Well, let's look at Cremonese's. We're playing today. We're away to the mighty Hellas Verona, right? But, if we win tonight, we go joint top. We've got +2 goal average. We need 2 goals to tie with Juventus, but we'd go ahead of them alphabetically. And we need 3 goals to go above Napoli and to go top of the league. I mean, who'd have thought it when I drew Cremonese that Jamie Vardy would go there? They would sell out more tickets than they've ever sold in their entire history. And this would be going on. And the excitement around, it's like Anthony type of fan adulation, that you've seen at Real Betis. I don't know if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's quite incredible for a guy of his age. So we're with every chance of going top.
Verona are 17th, mate. So you're let me. I'm sorry, I thought I was sharing it on the screen. I'm not sharing it. My bad, people. I do apologise.
Yeah, Hellas Verona. But meanwhile, your team, Roma, actually lost, didn't they? They lost at home 1-0 to Torino. A goal by Giovanni Simeone. I don't think he's any relation, is he? Or is he? I
don't know, mate, to be honest, but it's not an uncommon name out there. So
no. I mean, you're lying in 6th place, so it's not exactly.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay.
It's 3 points off the top. There's nothing to worry about.
We lost yesterday to Torino, so
you did at home. But meanwhile, Juventus, who's the Chats team, you're joint top, 1 point behind Napoli. It's going to be between Juventus and Napoli, I reckon, come the end of the season. So it's doing very well. Should we go on to Krautsville?
Yeah, let's go to Germany.
Where are your papers? Let's see. Okay, so RB Leipzig, we won our game. But Bayern Munich are well top at the moment. RB Leipzig are sitting 7th. Hamburg, your team, Sean, got absolutely stuffed.
Yeah.
5-0 with Luka Vuskovic playing the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, doing an goal as well, though.
Eh?
I'm not sure if it was given against him, but he put his leg out and he created a massive deflection for one of the goals. Came off his shin.
Let's check it out. I mean, we don't want to be putting the burden on him, but I think it's good to check. And let's have a look.
It went to was it Luis? It was Diaz. Luis Diaz's shot. It reflected off.
Luis Diaz has been given the goal.
Yeah, fair enough. Another own goal.
Pavlovic, Harry Kane with a penalty and a goal as usual, and Luis Diaz 5-0. And the groups. Who were they? Freiburg.
Was it Wolfsburg, wasn't it?
Was it Wolfsburg?
Oh, Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen. That's it. Werder Bremen. Can't even find Werder Bremen now. Where have I?
They are 9th in the league. And listen, I screwed up when we had the double take because I thought I had Eintracht Frankfurt, and actually,
you had Freiburg.
You guys thought I had Freiburg. I thought I had Frankfurt. It was Eintracht Freiburg, and we did a redraw, and I got Hamburg, and I'm now 17th and going to get relegated. So unfortunately, I'm Hamburg till I die, even if they're in Bundesliga B.
Freiburg.
Zweites Bundesliga, yeah, we're in the Zweites Bundesliga.
Going down. Yes, you have ways of making you get relegated. Let's go to Franglais.
The French.
The French, where my team is having a fantastic season at the moment, lying in last place with a -5 goal difference, no wins, 1 draw, and 1 point. The team, the Chats team, Brest. We could have had Nice and Brest and could have had nice Brest. We could have been talking about nice Brest for the whole season.
Legit. No demonetization. Legit chat.
Legit chat. Brest are 1 point. So Brest and Metz, the two of us guys, are right at the bottom. Whereas Sean, you were... Who were you?
We went to Lyon. And Lyon came to us. And Remy Deschamps gets an own goal for Lyon to give us the comfortable. Oh, we scored 2 goals in the injury time. Look at that for a late. So Lyon were 1-0 up until the 75th minute, and then Tyler Morton gets sent off, and then Anthony Rould scores the equaliser, and then 2 goals in injury time. An own goal from Remy Deschamps and Mohamed Kader Matey. My matey gets the winner.
Oh, matey.
I'm sure I've absolutely butchered those names, but Well done, my team, Ren. We're sitting nicely, mate. We're sitting tidily in. Where are we? We're sixth, I think.
Good players, Ren. I mean, they sold a lot of players, but they always have some good players. Let's move on to the Championship, where my club, Portsmouth, managed to get a draw. I believe. I think it was, wasn't it? It was a draw. I'm sure it was.
Southampton, yeah, boring.
0-0 against Southampton. It was a poor draw.
Yeah,
it was a poor draw. But your club, Birmingham, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, Stoke have started very, very well this season. Spurs boy Jamie Donnelly struggling to get a game, as is Ashley Phillips. Yeah, both of them struggling, even though Ashley Phillips was there last season. The Chats team are doing the best, Sean, and that is Bristol City.
Yeah.
Who are lying, I think, third, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, yeah. 3 wins and 2 draws from 5 games.
Unbeaten. Bristol City. Who'd have thought?
What on the Chat? Well done, the Chat.
Well done, the Chat.
The Chat's doing slightly better than us, I think, overall. But I'll take my.
We'll have regular updates each week for each of the leagues and each of the games that are coming up. Let's talk about yesterday's games.
Before we do, John, let's just do a couple of super chats, if you don't mind, my man. Yep. Mashina Joe, big up to you, Evertonian fan out in Sydney, I think. Joe has become a new member of the show. Appreciate you very much, Joe. Appreciate you, mate. Hope you're okay, my man. Hope you're causing carnage. I know you've messaged me. You're a bit of a sort, aren't you, mate? A bit of a lad. Love that about you, mate. Thank you for the support, and we look forward to getting you on for one of the predictions this season. Big up to you, and big up to Dean Law, who has, of course, commenced the super sticker train, as he always done. Thank you so much, Dean. Always here, always supporting, mate. Love you, buddy. Love your buddy. What are we doing here, Johnny? Where are we starting, mate?
We got to talk about Ruben Amorim, and we got to talk about Manchester United. Look, we're 4 games into the season. They're out the Premier League title race. They're out the Carabao Cup. No European football. Cunha's out for weeks. Sesko managed to score a fantastic 4 out of 10 on his debut. They have a negative goal difference. Their top goal scorer is own goals, and they're only in the FA Cup because it hasn't started yet. So
they're really struggling, aren't they? Let's be honest. It's not nice to be a Man United fan right now. I even saw people on Twitter. There's a Man United fan on Twitter that said, Do you know what? I'm old enough to remember the league titles under Ferguson. I'm old enough to. I remembered, the 99 Champions League. I remember the 3 that we've been in, the 2 that we lost, the 1 that we won. Yada yada yada. He goes, if this is the best, if I've seen the best I'll ever see out of Manchester United, and it's all downhill from here. I've still had a good run, a better run in terms of seeing success than most people. The geezer's like 35 years old. And he's writing off his entire club and assuming that they're just completely they're done. And he's basically saying, I feel sorry for the young United fans who have never seen it and probably won't ever. Like, what are we doing here, bro? You're just having it's like a blip. It's seasonality. It's cyclical in football. Teams have their time and then they fade away a little bit. Then they come back. This is what happens. If you live a long life, you're going to see moments of good and moments of bad. But to throw in the towel like that guy did, I was like, oh, you poor man. You're just not used to the helter-skelter of volatility in your footballing team's results.
Listen, it's entitlement. It's a bit like how the Arsenal fans were when Arsene Wenger left. They've been used to so much success, and probably as Liverpool fans were after all their success. But Ruben Amorim, after the City defeat, said, I will do everything I can for Man United. This is my message to the fans. I'm suffering more than them. I don't think so. I won't change my philosophy. If they Ineos want it changed, you change the man. But I will not be changing my system.
He's begging to be sacked.
Yeah,
he's begging to be, and he has been begging to be sacked for months, mate. He has been begging to be sacked for months.
we have a moment's silence? Can we have a moment's silence for the poor guy who said he's not going to have his hair cut until Man United win 5 games on the trot? I saw a meme with Old Trafford. Have you seen it? With just hair coming out of the stage. This is round and black curly hair billowing out the stadium.
He's going to be Sideshow Bob pretty soon, with that like Krusty the Clown just like coming out all over the place. Absolutely hilarious.
You can't die on the hill. And as Daniel Harris just quite rightly said in the chat there, Amorim making the same mistakes as the guy that I can't mention, who used to be manager of Spurs.
Yeah.
Because if you die on the hill, it's a bit like Russell Martin at Rangers. He's dying on the same hill as he did at Southampton that got him sacked. Lost. This is my philosophy. Well, your philosophy ain't working, mate. You got the sack. And now you've taken it to Rangers. It's not working. His philosophy, in fairness to Amorim, at least his philosophy worked for him at Sporting Lisbon. But this is the Premier League, and you have to have flexibility because the quality of opposition, the strength in depth of the opposition is far greater, and you can't have one system.
You know what it feels like to me, mate? It's, I played a lot of golf growing up, right? And I was a member of a golf course that was really like open. Okay, like it was wide fairways. It was a long course, but it was really, really wide fairways. And because of that, you would be it would be unforgiving if you were slightly off center with your drives. But because it was a long course, you needed to bash it as hard as you could and really put full beans into it. And it like you could end up mastering that course by being a little bit scrappy and scruffy with the direction, but getting the length into your drives. And if you were a half decent putter, half decent short game, as long as your drives were up there, you could do okay around the course. And if you would win those tournaments, and then you'd go on to the next level, where you'd have to go and participate in other courses that are tighter, more technical, where the short game is more tricky, or where your drives are not allowed, they're unforgiving. You've got to be straight. If you're not straight, you're in trouble. I feel like Amorim is the guy that can drive the ball very far, but he's not particularly accurate. And when he goes into the Premier League and you play all these other teams, where some of those games of chess, some of those matches require you to have a different style. Same with Big Ange. One size does not fit all in the Premier League. You have to have a plan B. You have to have adaptability. You have to keep the opposition guessing. And these people just don't do it. They're so easy to play against. Unpredictability is the second best ability. And if you can only do your thing and that's it, you're going to get figured out. And by the way, the team that Amorim inherited when he took over at Manchester United was the absolute antithesis of a back three wing back system with like a 3-4-2-1 model. Like it never fit that way. And they spent all that money trying to create his team to his liking. They still haven't managed to do it. They're still playing Bayindir instead of their new goalkeeper, Senny Lemons. They got rid of Onana, but they've still got problems at the back. They still don't have that balance. And if they do sack him now and they bring in somebody else, then they're gonna have to pivot again. It's just gonna be forever horses for courses and square pegs in round holes. I don't think he's the guy, but whoever's the guy after him, they need to find someone that's more likely to carry on at least the basic framework of his football, and then obviously have more flexibility, more tactical diversity, all those things. But like they can't rip it up and then go back to a back four guy now.
They can't now.
Someone that plays a back three model most of the time.
He's got the worst win percentage since any manager since the Second World War. 36%. 36%. Yeah. I mean, when you look at some of the, Ron Atkinson, 50%, Tommy Docherty, 46%, Graham Sexton, 40%. O'Farrell, 37. I mean, he's right the way back there. I mean, this is as bad as it gets unless you were watching Man United in the 70s when they were relegated. And even then, you got to visit new grounds. And even in those 70s, they had the highest average attendances, in the league at that time. And they still went on, but beat Bob Paisley's team to win the FA Cup. And that was Man United bad, Sean. That was them really bad. But, I mean, where they are now, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? They're saying that they're going to be patient with him. But, I mean, he's been there since November, right?
Well, he's been there No, longer than November, isn't it?
Wasn't it November last year?
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe you're right. Fuck, it feels a lot longer than that.
Well, Eric, 10 months lasted quite a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know what Man United do, though. I don't know what they do. You know, they've spent all this money again. And don't get me wrong. Like, I think that, what's his name? I think Mbeumo does look like he's settling in. I think he is dangerous. Obviously, Cunha's out for a while with a hammy now. I think it's a hamstring. And so, you know, you buy players that have got a history of hamstrings. What do you expect? Yeah. You know?
So since he's played 31 Premier League games, Sean. He's got a minus 13 goal difference.
Gee whiz.
And he's got 31 points.
Is he the problem, though? Or is there a bigger problem, a bigger poisonous kind of chalice at Man United?
I think it's all.
Or is it a bit of both?
It's all encompassing. Yeah, I think it's all encompassing. I think.
But is anyone going to go there and figure it out?
Well, Spurs King just made the comment. Southgate is too good for United.
Fucking hell. Listen, Gareth Southgate. I mean, he might play the most boring football in the game, although we thought that. But then Thomas Tuchel's playing even more boring football, to be entirely honest. But Southgate figured out a way to get to, what was it, 2 semi-finals and a final, right? Or was one semi-final, a final, and then the quarterfinals or whatever it was. And we only lost against France, the best team in the game, in the Euros, because of a missed penalty from Harry Kane, and obviously went to pens, and then a couple of people missed and stuff. But like that could have gone. That's a coin flip. We only lost to in the World Cup to, was it Croatia? We lost to in the World Cup. Who did we lose to in the World Cup semi-final in 2022?
Can't remember.
Was it Croatia?
Can't remember now. Can't remember.
Let me know in the chat. Who did England lose to in the semi-finals of the World Cup? Or was that 2018? I can't remember.
Can't remember now off the top of my head. It feels like a lifetime ago. I'll ask you a question, Sean.
Yeah.
Have Ineos made things better or worse? I mean, when they came in, when Jen Ratcliffe came in, they were actually sitting in 6th place. He made all these cuts, cut out the heart of the club. People who've been there 30, 40, 50 years, whether it was the tea lady, the car park attendant, got rid of hundreds of staff, got rid of Alex Ferguson. And I just wonder, I mean, there's been very little to be excited about. In fact, the one thing that they got excited about was the surprise FA Cup win against Manchester City. Yeah. But I actually think that was the worst thing that ever happened to them, because they then went on to let Eric 10 months stay on.
Yeah.
Gave him a fortune to spend.
Yeah.
Realised in November he was no good, sacked him. And then Amorim comes in without his players, tries to make a fist of it. But he was still I mean, I think they were 6th when Ratcliffe came in, offered him a new deal. You know, the old adage, Sean, be careful what you wish for. Do you remember what we said?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, everyone said about the Blazers, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, they are leeches, let's be honest. They've drained the club. I mean, you know, they've only just built up a new training centre at Carrington, which is meant to be, you know, incredible compared to what they had before. But they have a stadium that's completely dilapidated, that they are trying to, the mayor of Manchester is trying to get some, you know, the government doesn't have any money, and he's trying to get £1 billion investment from the government for regeneration to make a national stadium.
Yeah.
Andy Burnham, right? Forget it.
Birds, right? For the birds, yeah.
Yeah, forget it, mate. Forget it. They're in trouble. But
what's it going to take for them to turn it around, though?
Well, what did you and I say? We say you need a top defence. You need to go.
You need at least one, maybe 2 more centre backs. You need a new goalkeeper.
And a top goalkeeper.
Semi Lemons hasn't even kicked the ball. Hasn't even started for them yet.
No, Sonny Lemons, Sonny Lemons.
And he looked. By the way, I said this when he signed. Right, I didn't know too much about him. I went and ran him through the Y Scout to have a look at him. He's made some stinkers too, bro. He has made some absolute stinkers. You can go and check it out on. I'm sure there's a video of his stinkers on YouTube that's subsequently been made by someone who hates United to wind them up. But on Y Scout, like, yeah, he makes some. He's agile. He's a good goalkeeper, but he has let some. Like, if we think that Andre Onana is the king of the stink, well, Semi Lemons has made a lot of a lot of
you
mistakes as well.
go to United, and the thing I don't understand is players like Ugarte has just looked shocking. He's looked shocking. Casemiro looks like he's running through quicksand at the moment. His legs have gone. They can't get rid of him. He's on ridiculous money to the end of the season. Bruno Fernandes looks like he's half in Saudi Arabia. He's like contemplating, should I stay or should I go now? I mean, he was at fault. They just running right through. The Man United midfield's got more holes than a Swiss cheese. And they were exposed massively yesterday.
They're letting players like what's the guy's name? The young kid that was going to come to Tottenham. They're letting him rot on the bench.
Yeah, Kobe
Mainoo. They're letting him rot because he doesn't fit the system. Like, who does fit that system in what the squad that you put together? Like, if he basically says, I'm not changing my system, is it because it's the only way he knows how to play, mate? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, who's doing the scouting? I mean, Benjamin Sesko. He looked like Peter Crouch on sedatives. I don't understand what was going on there.
I hate the "I told you so" thing, mate. But he there's nothing like an £85 million.
No, he doesn't. While we're talking about "I told you so," what did I tell you so? Yesterday's game about Phil Foden, eh? What did I say? I said, he's back. I believe he's back. I didn't expect him to score that quickly, but that spine of Rodri, Foden, and Haaland, when those three are on it, it's very hard to hold them back. I mean, it could have been 5 easy yesterday, very easily. Yeah. Reinders missed a clear-cut chance. Haaland could have scored another couple. Do we think the squad is deep enough at the moment and good enough to go on? I mean, listen, El Nouri's injured. Mamouche didn't play yesterday. Savinho did actually come on for Jeremy Doku yesterday. Are they back, Sean? Are they sort of third, fourth also ranked, or are they now on that slow climb back?
I think there's something's been lost with them. To me, something about their mojo. Beating United is not exactly difficult. So I know it's the Manchester derby and stuff, but I'm not going to sit there and think that everything's fine, because they were like Brighton were more than worthy for their point the other day. That was a few weeks ago. When Tottenham walked them off the park, didn't even look threatened by them at home. I know that people say Tottenham have got the hoodoo or whatever over Manchester City, but I want to wait. I'm going to keep my powder dry. I just think Manchester City have got all the talent, and it does require them that if they lose Rodri, they lose everything, And it's one of those things. Like I'm saying it for ages. Like that lack of a 6 that Tottenham missed out on for so long, because Ange didn't think that we wanted to play with a 6. If you're going to play aggressive, possession-based football, you're going to take risk and you're going to get transitioned on occasionally. And the absence of someone who's not pretty, who doesn't steal the headlines, who just sits there and protects and does what Palhinha can do for Tottenham, or what Claude Makélélé used to do, or N'Golo Kante, or Busquets, those sorts of players. I mean, look, Busquets is the all-rounder of the 6 back in the day that Rodri is today, that can do the protection thing, but also can then distribute. There's not many players. There's very few players that can do both of those things. You're either a playmaker or you're an enforcer. But to not have either of them is mental. But when Manchester City lose Rodri, their structure falls apart. If they can keep him fit, then I think they've got a very good chance of putting on a good run.
Interesting, he hardly got injured throughout his whole career at Manchester City, and then suddenly he had this. But, he's fantastic. Look, I'm a massive fan of Zubimendi. I'm gutted he went to Arsenal, if I'm brutally honest, because I think next to Rodri, he is the second best 6 in the Premier League. And he certainly proved it on Saturday morning with the early kickoff. But I think that spine is absolutely superb. And, I think, the defence, I was worried yesterday about their defence lineup, but they turned out to be, okay. But Gavidal is back. he's a massive miss for them. There's another one really when he plays, they look a lot more solid.
Yeah.
El Nouri, when he comes back, gives them another outlet with Mamouche. I think. Listen,
still not sure about that Kuzanov though. I've always, whenever he signed, I looked him up on the Wire Scout when they signed him. I was like, he looks very fast. He looks like a kind of, Mickey van der Ven regen. That sort of pace at the back thing. It's super important for Highline football. I get it, but there's something about his decision making that doesn't always leave me with full of confidence when I watch him. But listen, I think Manchester City will be fine, Johnny. But they are one or two injuries to key players away from having a crumble again, in my opinion. Let's talk a little bit about a team that never seems to ever.
Just quickly, James in the chat. I said Gavidol, right? Not Gabidol.
Gvardiol, you mean the Croatian guy?
Yeah.
Who's Danny Gabidol?
I never seen Danny Gabidol. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. He's having a wind up. Yeah. What are we doing with the Liverpool score, mate? Like 1-0. Burnley were very unfortunate. So close to getting it spot on against. They really frustrated Liverpool for the entire 90 minutes, and then just one slip, one mistake, and Liverpool pounced. Right.
I mean, look, if you look at Liverpool this season, right? Liverpool's first 4 games, okay, 2 late goals versus Bournemouth to win it. Late goals. Last minute winner versus Newcastle. A free kick out of the blue, a wonder goal versus Arsenal, and a late penalty versus Burnley. I mean, resilience, the belief to keep going and going and going. I mean, some would say it's luck, but it's also the belief. I'll say that again. 2 late goals v Bournemouth when it looked like Bournemouth were coming back and maybe we're going to even win it. Last minute winner against Newcastle from, was it 98th minute or 97th minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 points in Liverpool time. We'll quit Liverpool time.
Yeah, Liverpool time now. Free kick versus Arsenal, the wonder free kick, and the late penalty, very late penalty v Burnley.
They could be on 3 points, couldn't they? They could be on 3 points or 4 points this season. Said they're on 12.
Correct. I can't remember what their next game is, Sean. Do you remember?
I'll tell you right now. They are against. Well, they got a Champions League game this week against Atletico Madrid on Wednesday night, and then they've got Everton at home on Sunday. That'll be a cracker.
That's going to be a cracker because you and I highlighted the fact that we thought Everton would have a good season, and it was only Emi Martinez that stopped them having another good day with a string of fantastic saves. Jack Grealish keeps whipping those balls in, doesn't he? Effortless.
Yeah. On
that left-hand side.
Yeah, looks good. Looks very good.
If he can keep it up. Do you think he can keep it up?
Oh, well, I don't see why not. He looks like he's hungry again, trying to get into the World Cup team.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Everything changes in a World Cup year, mate. Everything changes. You get players that get injured or that pull out of tackles because they don't want to get injured. You get players that like get a new lease of life because they're trying to fight. Like everything that the year before World Cup summer, everything is up in the air for particular types of outcomes, and it amplifies it. It gets worse as you go along. In April, you will see players pulling out of tackles because they don't want to get hurt, and it will be interesting to see if those sorts of decisions affect or how they affect the teams that they're playing for, how the fans react to them. We've seen it with Tottenham, we've seen it with Romero, we've certainly seen it with Arsenal players in the past, where they just don't feel like they want to go in 50-50, especially teams that maybe are not necessarily fighting for the title or fighting for relegation. But then that's when you get situations where relegation teams can beat teams that are like 6th or 7th because most of the relegation team players are not going to be fighting for World Cup squads, etc. And so they go in a little bit harder, knowing that the opposition are going to pull out of 50-50s and things, and you get some surprise results. So make sure you're aware of that for your fantasy football teams as we get into the second half. Do you want to just do the predictions results?
Yeah, I was just going to say we'll do that in a second. I was just going to say everyone's saying that Liverpool smashed them. The interesting thing is that we thought that Everton had made some good defensive signings, good signings overall. They've been very solid, Everton. They're not going to be easy to break down. And we saw Burnley, how well Burnley did against them. So I know that Burnley were at home, but I think in a fiery derby, they might put their bodies on the line. So let's see. Do you want to do? Should we do? I'll tell you what we do. We'll do the scores and then we'll do a bit of the reporting. So,
the other games that we haven't spoken about, we'll talk about them as we go through it. But just a little reminder, people. So before this weekend, Jonny was on 25 points, a nose in front of me on 24, and then the members chat, is on 21 points. So a 4-point deficit. And then we got Nikos to put his results in. And we know Nikos, he went, here he is. You had a bit of a stinker. Nikos. You went a little bit maverick with some of these results and predictions. And I'll tell you what, though, I've absolutely smashed it out of the park, I think. We'll find out as we go along. Arsenal versus Forest. We haven't actually talked about this game yet, Jonny, so we'll talk about it now. 3-0 was the result.
Oh, Zubimendi.
Zubimendi a couple, and Gyökeres.
Zubimendi was just absolutely immense. I mean, the Arsenal fans getting their knickers in a twist because they thought that Zubimendi's goal was the goal of the season. They mentioned it yesterday. I mean, give me a break. It was a beautiful strike, but if it hadn't have deflected off of the defender, it was a slight defection, but it deflected it in the way that it took it away from Sells, because I think Sells would have saved it. He's that good a goalkeeper, but it wasn't goal of the season. But Zubimendi hadn't scored a goal from outside the box in his career, scored that one. And he'd only ever scored 3 goals with his head in his entire career. 2 up until the weekend, where he scored that one, where he leapt and headed that one in. Arsenal look very, very strong. In fact, they look pretty terrifying, Sean, because when you think there was no Hincapié, there was no Saliba, there was no Saka, Odegaard went off injured. They didn't look phased at all, mate. The strength in depth.
Their depth is insane, mate. They've got so much depth. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
We went 3-0. I went 3-0, so I get all 3 points. And by the way, I also picked Gyökeres as my man of the week. So I get an extra 3 points for his goal. So I'm straight out of the traps on 6 points. Jonny went 3-1. So he gets 1 point for correct result, but not 3 for the correct prediction. And Nikos started his weekend off with a wild one. He went 2-1 Forest and obviously gets 0 points. Next up was Bournemouth against Brighton. And the scoreline there was 2-1. And the predictions were 2-2 from Jonny. So 0 points for that. 1-1 from Nikos. So 0 points from that. And I said 2-1. So I got 3 points.
Sorry, what was that game? What was that game?
Bournemouth against Brighton.
All right, okay. I thought I did Bournemouth win. Okay, fine. Go on. Yep.
So 2-1 was the result. Look, a really interesting game, though, mate. Did you watch the game at all? Seen the highlights?
Yeah, of course I did. Semenya again. Another great performance. Mitoma pulled one back. With a back post header. Semenya with that very unnecessary sort of nudge in the back that took De Cooper, whatever his name was, into the electrical digital board. And they got 2 players that are out for our game against them next week. So that should be hopefully be an advantage, because it's about bloody time I went to Brighton and actually saw us win.
Same, mate. Yeah, same. I don't think I've ever been there and seen us get anything from it. Do you know what, though? I've been talking about for ages for me, when I look at Tottenham and I think I want to see a left winger so that we can have that dual threat. Yeah. The guy on the right wing that can do inside or outside, the guy on the left wing that can do inside or outside. And then if you have a guy in the midfield that can switch the play, it's crazy difficult for teams to set up and structure against it. Brighton have that in Minter and in Semenyo. In Minter and in Mitoma.
Yeah.
Those 2 are so balanced and so terrifying. And I just think that Brighton will be absolutely fine. I know they lost on the day to a well-drilled Iriola Bournemouth team, but those guys at the top end of the pitch are very, very, very scary. And I want to see Tottenham get a left winger like a Mitoma. Doesn't have to be a Mitoma, but like him, like a Savio, whatever, that can just do what we don't currently have, which is someone like Johnson can't do it, Tell can't do it, Odegaard probably can't do it. We don't know yet. maybe Solomon could do it if he was given a chance, but we need a left winger that can do that because Brighton looks so balanced. Balance is so key. If you have balance, you have unpredictability in the way that you approach the game with the ball. And Brighton were unfortunate on the day. It was a great game of football. Really enjoyed it. And like I say, I scored. I got the 3 points. Everybody else went for a draw, a score draw, and got nothing. Next up on the list was
Palace.
Newcastle.
Sorry. Palace Sunderland.
I've got it in a different order to you. Who do you want to say? Go on.
I've got Palace Sunderland. I'm just going with order of the things. Palace Sunderland.
I went for 2-1 to Palace. You went for 3-1 to Palace. And Nikos went for 3-1 to Sunderland. We all got it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, Roof was played through the roof, Robin Roof. 16 shots. I think 6 or 7 on target. He was unbelievable in goal. He was unbelievable. Even without Walton, Adam Walton and Ismail Sarr were both missing from that game, which is a massive handicap. So no Eze, no Ismail Sarr, no Walton. And yet they still dominated the game and they really should have won. But Roof, man of the match for me in goal. He was absolutely
sensational. Oh,
yeah.
There you go. There you are.
I
absolutely sensational. But no joy for either team. They go over. The points are shared. But yeah, I completely agree, man. Roof looks just put in one of those worldies that you get occasionally.
Who are you going next? I've got Everton.
We go Fulham Leeds if you want.
Yeah, Fulham Leeds. Well, this was a late one, wasn't it? One of the best late own goals you'll ever see by Gabriel Gudmundsson. What was he doing? Is it the left back? I think it was the right back. Was he left back or right back?
Gudmundsson is the right back, I think.
Yeah, right back. Yeah. I mean, the ball's come over in the 93rd minute and he's headed it and it's gone that way. It's just got, it was an absolute bullet out of nowhere. Very undeserved for Leeds, who, really deserved more out of the game than they got. And
yeah, I was devastated, mate, because I picked the 0-0 and it was looking like it was on. But then a late one for Fulham. So you went for 2-1. So you get 1 point for that. And Nikos went for 2-1 to Leeds. So he gets 0 point for me and 1 point for you. Choo-choo to you on that one. Boring game, though. Really boring game. Then we got then we got Newcastle Wolves. We haven't done them yet.
Oh, yeah, the German
3-0. You went for 3-0. And the chat for Nikos went for 1-1. In the end, what was the score there in the end?
1-0. And the German Giraffe.
That's right. Lovely header, mate. That hang time on him, gee whiz.
Well, what do you expect? He's 6'6".
No, I know, but he doesn't normally score that many goals with his head. And the way he hung, and he sort of he pulled, like he waited, and the ball's almost behind him by the time he heads it. So he's leaning back like a giraffe, and he gets his. And it's a lovely little glide. There's nothing fortunate about that header. That was deliberate in every way, but it was one of the best headers I've seen for a long time. Really,
I'm sorry, Sean. All this business. Oh, we don't head the ball very often, right? Listen, if I'm the coach and they've just signed me a 6'6" striker, right? I'll be going to him, hey mate, guess what? You're going to start heading the ball, right?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't know. I think he always plays that way, but I think he was known for being a bit like Peter Crouch. Like Peter Crouch, 6'6", 6'7", but but known better for his footwork. Voltemade is sort of known more for his footwork, but I just don't think he scored very many goals. I'm sure he got lots of opportunities, but I just don't think he scored that many with his head relative to what you would expect for someone as tall as he is. But I tell you what, mate, like that header yesterday, when I saw the highlights, I was like, that is a proper header. The way that it's probably just a little. If he's 3 inches shorter, that's over his head. That's skimming his hairline, and it's going out for a corner or going out for a goal.
They won a lot of aerial duels, mate. They won 22 aerial duels, so they did well. But I mean, look, I think Wolves. That was the only time they breached them. They had 4 shots on target for Newcastle, 3 for Wolves. Wolves, apart from the early season, I mean, they've not been absolutely hammered, but they need to start finding a win, Sean, and quick. The way things
start to the season, they had three or four tough games. They should have got better against Everton. They lost 3-2 to Everton at home. That shouldn't have happened. But they got smashed by Man City on the first game. Obviously, unlucky again. Well, not unlucky. I think Newcastle deserved it. So obviously 3 losses there. I forget who their 4th team was. It Villa? I forget who the 4th game was. No, it can't be in Villa. Who did Wolves lose to in their other game? Do you remember?
Off the top of my head, they lost their first game.
Oh, they lost to Bournemouth as well, away at Bournemouth. Yeah, they've had a horrible start in terms of 4 opening games. It's pretty nasty, but I don't think they've been that bad, mate. To be entirely honest, but they've just been.
I quite like Yao Gomez and Andre and Rodrigo Gomez. You know, not a bad player. I just wonder. They're just going to have to find something. Let's hope they don't find it against Spurs in a couple of weeks.
We will.
We don't want them bottom of the league and then facing us. That would be so Spursy, right?
But I don't think Wolves will be a do you think Wolves are a relegation target? I don't think. I think they just had a really
not at the moment. I think we'll come on to them afterwards, but watching West Ham the other day, I think they've definitely got to be up there. Definitely. Yeah. One team that is in trouble though is the Everton versus Villa game. I mean,
so I went for 2-1 in that game to Everton. You went for 2-0 Everton, and as did Nikos. Yeah. And we all got it wrong because it ended up being a boring draw, right?
Yeah. Aston Villa, 4 games, no goals.
It's crazy, mate. It's crazy.
I mean, really? I mean, how do you not score any goals in 4 games?
I see Saba's in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm coming for Saba because him and Henry Wright used to give me the hardest time in the world when back in a couple of years ago about how great Aston Villa were going to be. And they cheated to get to their little bit above their station, and now they're getting the gravity's taking back the hold, Saba. So I'm coming for you. I'm coming for head. No, I'm joking. But Villa's struggling, mate. Villa's struggling. They don't look like their usual self. Ollie Watkins doesn't look like he's firing. You know, Morgan Rogers looks like half the player that he was last season. What's going on there? Maybe his head was turned a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. If we're going backwards, I think Morgan Gibbs-White looks like he's been traumatised when he was playing for Arsenal against for Forest against Arsenal. I mean, it just so happened that they had the lowest XG since Nuno in any game for the last 2 seasons or season and a half, however long he's been in there. But Morgan Rogers, again, looked a shadow of him former self. Look, no one starts the season, Sean, in prime fitness. You have to ease your way in, right? So, you don't put your foot down flat on the floor. It's a long season. But you expect to see better form than what you're seeing now. We see many times before, Puku, what was his name? The Norwich striker.
Puki,
right? Who couldn't stop scoring for like the first 4 games or something, 5 games for Norwich.
Yeah.
And then after that, he couldn't find the back of the net after. So,
the player I'm really surprised by is that Evan Gassand, who I wanted at Tottenham, right? He's gone to Villa. He's only played 100 minutes. So, like, basically 1 game of football in 3. Spread out. They give him 15 minutes here, there, and whatever else. If you're not scoring a goal, why are you not giving that geezer more minutes and letting him come on the pitch and have a crack? Because he's a baller. He's, in my opinion, I mean, we'll find out whether he's capable of doing it in the Premier League level. But when I watched him playing in France, when he was linked to Tottenham, I ran him through the Y-Scout. I was like, this guy's a real talent, but he's not getting it. He's getting 30% of minutes in a team that isn't scoring a fucking goal, Johnny. And I'm like, give the guy some minutes and see if he can pull out a rabbit out of a hat, because that's the sort of player that he is. Right? He's capable, he's dangerous, he's tricky, he's got a lovely little foot on him on the right and the left. I was disappointed when he went to Villa. I was like, oh, there you go, Villa are back. Like, Villa are going to do okay, but I don't know, something about Villa getting their kind of transfer ban or whatever they're going to, all that sort of thing. They just don't feel like the same. They're not scary like they used to be.
I said to you, is it good evening or is it goodbye? I don't know.
He's not going anywhere, mate. He's the only thing. He's one of the best things about that club.
You think you can't say goodbye to him, but you never know with the way things are in football. You know, fans are very fickle, Sean. Look what he's done. He's been fantastic. And anyway, let's see. What's
West Ham Tottenham. So I went for 1-3 to Tottenham. You went 2-1 Tottenham, and Nikos went 3-2 Tottenham. We all get a point, but none of us get the 3 for getting it right. 3-0 in the end.
My guy was absolutely immense. Lucas Bergvall, what a player. I just wonder, the one thing I liked about Thomas Frank is the fact that he came out and said he got it all wrong, because Lucas Bergvall in the game against Bournemouth, when he came on, he changed the whole momentum of the game. But unfortunately, it was too late then. He just picks up the ball and drags everyone with him. He's just, I just love how he plays. He's exactly the type of footballer that I love. He's got fantastic peripheral vision. Before the ball's even come to him, he's received the ball. He's worked out where he's passing the ball to, and he's already ready to make the run to collect it. He is so far, for a 19-year-old, he's just on another level, in my opinion, for what we've been used to at Spurs at that age. I think the last time a player, it's been a long time, I think Nick Barmby was the last time a 19-year-old got a goal and an assist in a Premier League game.
Yeah, I think he's the second youngest. I think Bergvall's the second youngest ever to Nick Barmby in the Premier League era for doing that by about 100 days or something. The one thing I agree, I share your enthusiasm about Bergvall. And in fact, after this video, after this stream, I'm going to be doing my own, talking a little bit about the conundrum, the dirty headache, the nice headache, but a dirty headache that Thomas Frank's going to have regarding our midfield, because this emergence of Pape Sarr, if you are going to push Xabi Simons into a 10 role eventually, whether that's now or in January if we go and get a left winger, and then you've got Paulinho and, and you got Bentancur, and you got Archie Gray, and you got Bissouma, you got 6 players there that, in my opinion, are fighting for one spot. It's a really, really problematic.
It's not problematic. No, Sean.
It's a nice problem to have, but there are outcomes around that can be problematic.
I know, but do you not? You look at Arsenal. He's got 10 times more problems working out who's he going to drop and who's he going to play. That is the dream.
Yeah, of course.
The dream scenario. That's the dream scenario.
It's a good headache to have.
Yeah,
but Tottenham have got Bentancur can't really. I don't think Bentancur can play as the 6th. I don't think he can. I don't. I know people think he can. I don't like him in the 6th. I don't like him in the. Hang on. I don't like him in the 6th. Then you have Bissouma, who shouldn't be here anyway, but he decided not to leave. He's been dropped, and when he on that bench that we put out on Saturday, Johnny, was the strongest bench I've seen for Tottenham in arguably 10 years. I genuinely sit there and go, when was the last time you had a bench that was stronger than that in terms of quality? And you have to go back a long, long time. And Archie Gray couldn't even make the squad. Solomon couldn't make the squad. And Bissouma didn't make the squad, right? They couldn't make the squad, even though they're fit. And you're not that far away from having Decky back. And you're not that far away from having Radu Dragusin back. But in that 8 role specifically, if you're going to move Xabi Simons into the 10 eventually, which is where I think he's best fit, I'm sitting there thinking, how do you keep Bergvall, Sarr, Bentancur, just those 3 alone? Forget about Gray for a minute, because that's another headache, but he's maybe needs a loan or whatever, and Bissouma should be out the door. But those 3 players are fighting for one spot, plus you have 2 others behind it that all think they deserve minutes as well. It's a great headache to have, but it is a headache.
I'm loving it. Personally, Sean, I'm absolutely loving it. I love Bentancur. Bergvall, first time I saw him, his first game friendly at QPR, I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. And I still think he's Real Madrid, Barcelona. That's the level I think he's going to be at by the time he leaves this club. Hopefully he'll stay there for many, many years. I think it's a dilemma that we should be salivating at. Unfortunately, we don't have that same ooze of class up top as we do below. I keep saying before, Solanke has an issue and he ain't coming back anytime soon. I've been saying it for weeks now, and I don't know how long. I don't know if they're going to keep plugging away. Then he's going to finally need the operation, and then he's going to be out for even more time. Kolo Muani is nowhere near match fit, nowhere near it. And Richie looked a bit pissed off at the after game. but
not playing. You need to keep him fairly fit.
And we didn't play. I mean, that's the good thing about Thomas Frank. He didn't play with a 9. He thought he could beat West Ham without the 9, and he did. And he's kept Richie fresh. He's just been on a long plane ride. But while we're rubbing it in with West Ham, just to say, we beat West Ham 3-0. Our under-18s beat West Ham away 5-0. And our West Ham Spurs under-16s beat West Ham under-16s 6-0. So altogether, that was Spurs 14, West Ham 0.
Yeah, no, unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable stuff. And look, and it was so easy in the end. But the referee absolutely screwed up with that opening goal. I mean, the VAR is a disgrace as well. But we can come back to that another time.
It should have been 5-0. I mean, in all fairness, it should have been 5-0. Even the most biased supporters, not supporters, even football pundits were saying that goal should have been allowed.
Yeah.
Even the referee said he was so focused on one guy hitting the deck, he didn't look at everything else, which begs the question, what is VAR doing? What is VAR?
VAR is there to support the referees, mate, aren't they?
What's its purpose?
But I do think that's why when Souček tore the sock of Palhinha at the start of the second half, I do kind of think that the referee pulled his red card out so quickly. Like, when those sorts of things happen, there's just that, like, at least 2 seconds of processing time that someone needs to go through to consider the context, to consider all that shit. The referee had his red card out before the camera even caught up with what had happened.
Well, my son just literally, as he went, my son said, "It's a red." Right. Like literally within a second, and then the referee's pulled his card out. So it was that blatant a tackle. Let's not talk about Jamie Redknapp.
Getting sued by Alan Sugar apparently today. Let's talk about Brentford Chelsea instead, mate. I went for 2-0, you went for 3-1, and Nikos for the chat went 4-0. So nil point to all because Chelsea were. Chelsea drew 2-2, a late winner for them, and then a late equaliser for Brentford. Brentford more than worthy of the point, and the most embarrassing thing I've seen, mate, is big time Chelsea, proper Chelsea Twitter handles like that CFC PYS guy who's got hundreds of thousands of followers saying the problem here is depth. I mean, what are we doing here? You bought 500 players and spent about the GDP of like a small nation on players in the last couple of years, and you're complaining about depth. Do me a favour. I
gave a stat last time. I'm going to have to redo it, and I'll use it again tonight. Chelsea apparently signed 49 players since they came in, Todd Bowley and Clear Lake Capital. And if we went back at Spurs to have the 49th player back, it would be Nasser Chadli. That's how many players we've signed, right? Since we had our 49th, and they've done it all in 3 years. Incredible.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. And yet they're complaining they haven't got enough depth. Do me a favour, But 2-2 there. Look, it was a really good game, actually. And fair play to Brentford for hanging on. And I think that was when I noticed, I was like, wait a minute, another long throw specialist? This is what we spoke about yesterday. Long throws are back in the game of football. And I'm here for them. I think they're brilliant. And I love seeing it. For neutral games, you love to see someone launch a 50-yard or 30-yard long throw. And if you've never tried it, by the way, I encourage all of you watching to go to the park with a football and see how long you can throw.
A towel. You need a towel.
Dry your hands, put some spit on your hands, all that stuff. Do the process, and then see how long you can throw it. Because I've tried it, and the answer is not far. It's a real skill set. So that was it for the Saturday games, Johnny. And then yesterday we had two big ones.
I was just going to say, Carvalho, I really thought that this kid was going to be a player when he was at Fulham, went to Liverpool. And I thought, he was destined to be a real player. It never really happened for him. But, it was nice for him to get that last-minute goal. And again, from a throw-on. And as Andrews quite rightly said, there's far too much snobbery in football. If you can gain an edge Why not throw the ball long? I don't understand. Why is throwing a ball in fashion or out of fashion? It should be a thing. It should be part and parcel of football all the time. If you got,
I agree. I guess it's just one of those things where set pieces seem to be taking more prominence. It's more of like, how can we improve our set pieces? Well, more teams are focusing on corners and direct free kicks and indirect free, all that stuff. And then the next logical iteration of that is, can anyone here do a long throw? Because if so, it's set piece coaches are relatively new.
Andrews, that's what Andrews was, right? Top set piece coach. Didn't he not go from Chelsea to Brentford? That's right. I'm sure it was Chelsea, then Brentford. Yeah. And now he's there. Is Cole Palmer back, Sean? I mean, he's been out with that injury. I mean, they've missed him.
I thought he was out for a long. I took him out of my fantasy team, mate, because I thought he was out for months, but he's not. He's back in.
I think everybody did. I think everybody did, Sean. All right, let's go on to the Sunday games.
Burnley, Liverpool. We've spoken about this one already, mate, so we won't take too much. And we've spoken about Man City, Man United as well, to be honest. So we won't take up too much time on this one. But I went for 0-2 to Liverpool. You went for 1-4 to Liverpool. And Nikos for the chat went 4-0 Liverpool. Ended up being a 1-0 sort of smash and grab in the last minute. Fair play to them. 1 point apiece. And in the Man City, Man United game, we spoke about this one as well. I went for 2-0 City. You went for 3-1 City. And Nikos went rogue again, Maverick, and went 2-1 United. So me and you pick up a point each. And 0 points for Nikos, who had an absolute stink.
Nikos is banned. Nikos is banned from predictions forevermore. Lifetime ban.
We love him. We love him. It's a long season, mate. It's a long season. In terms of the players of the week, I went for Gyökeres. So I get 3 points for his goal. I don't think he got an assist, did he?
No, he didn't. Just the goal.
And then you went for Mateta, but that was a 0-0. And Nikos went for Kudos, who didn't get an assist. Well, he should have done. He should have got an assist via the corner if Romero's goal stood. So 3 points for the extra player for me, 0 for you, and 0 for Nikos. And that, my man, means that on the weekly, I got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 13 points. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And the chat got 2 points, which means the grand total is on the doors. The chat is on 23 points. Johnny is on 31 points, but out in the lead with a formidable...
Oh, at the moment, mate, it's 4 games in. Come on.
A formidable lead on 37 points is yours truly. Normal service has resumed, ladies and gentlemen. It has resumed.
No saying that Paddy Power are already paying out.
Absolute stinkfest from Nikos.
Let's go to the super chat, Sean. We got a few
super chats. Yeah, we'll do some super chats. Where did we get to? We did Mashing and Joe. Big up to you. We did Dean Law. Big up to you. A user. He says, I watched the Liverpool game. So lucky. Hannibal lost it. Yeah, I feel so sorry for that kid. So you could see the heartbreak on his face as well, didn't he? Knew. And by the way, what a penalty it was! What a penalty from old man
Hannibal Lecter for fava beans and a nice Chianti.
100%. Ulrika Johnson, big up to you from Australia. Choo choo to you with a super sticker. Get yourself out of the bath, pull yourself a G&T, dry your bits. We're picking you up on the train, the super sticker train. Appreciate you very much, Ulrika Johnson. A user's come back in as well, says, miss you, Levy. I love you. I miss the banter. Please come back.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. I actually don't think Joe Lewis has given up the ghost. I think Vivian is, in fact, Joe Lewis with a wig.
I didn't see her. Well, she was there, wasn't she? She was there, apparently. Showing herself around. Everything's changed at Tottenham. Don't worry. It was all him. It was all Daddy and this guy's fault. No.
Go and have a look.
Put your hand in your very deep pocket and show us that you mean business. Otherwise,
Vivian's.
I'm sure looking for a reason to go Enoch out, Johnny.
Listen, I'm sure Vivian's a lovely fella, a lovely woman, lovely lady. Right. I think it's Joe Lewis with a wig. Go and have a look. I've never seen them look so miserable. I mean, why can't you celebrate when you're 3-0 up, or is it not the done thing? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Can you imagine like Mike Ashley when times were good at Newcastle, for that little period when times were good, when he was well received and he would go and stand in the he wasn't in. I kind of liked that about him. By the way, I met Mike Ashley 3 or 4 times in the city, right? Like a good friend of mine was really good friends with him and
someone I know was
his CFO guy. I forget the guy's name. The guy that was sort of Greek or something. That was his right hand man. I went out to bars with those two several times, and they'd buy like buckets and buckets of beers and and tequilas and stuff. He was a really good guy, really, really nice guy. Whenever I met him, very generous. Bought dinner, bought food and stuff, and all the beers. And I thought he was a lovely guy. And at that particular point in time, there were periods when he was welcomed into the Newcastle fan base, but he didn't want to He didn't want to sit in the director's box. He wanted to put his Newcastle jersey on and go and sit in the noisy end.
Well, that's why he was. He was one of the boys. In fact, someone I know, Paul Kemsley, was who used to be on the Spurs board, was very friendly with him, and they hung around for a number of years. But anyway, moving on. What else we got? A user. Have you got any others?
We've got one here from Ulrika Johnson. Johnny, can you say Calamawendo in a Scottish accent?
Yeah, Calamawendo, like. Hi, you there? By the way, big man.
Oh dear! I don't think we're going to get cancelled on that one. I think we're okay. Calamawendo. Big up to you, Ulrika. Thank you very much indeed. Right, Johnny, listen, let's do a quick Champions League review, shall we? You've got time?
We just say, right, 5:30 today, huge game today, 5:30, Serie A, Hellas Verona versus Cremonese. I'm not sure why it's on at 5:30, but if you're around, that's the game. That's the game you've got to be watching.
Where can you watch it?
I don't know, but I'll find it. I'll find the stream. Someone will be Cremonese all over the screen if Jamie.
I don't mind doing. We could do watch alongs for our second teams if you want. I don't mind doing that. Sounds like a bit of fun, to be honest.
We'll have to try.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Champions League draw, because we're not going to be around tomorrow because I'm going to be out all day with James from Spurs Related up in.
You're out all day, Sean. Not even an early doors.
Or we maybe could do one at like 11 o'clock or something. If you want.
Yeah, we do one early. We've got to do one early, mate.
All right, but we can do just do a little bit of a chin wag about this. Hang on a second, what have we just done? Here we bring this one up.
So look at the games for tomorrow on Tuesday.
Here we go. You got PSV versus Union Saint Gauloise. That team that's connected to who's USG? Brighton. That's it. PSV versus Brighton's sister club. Bill Bauer, your team, your club.
My team are playing Arsenal, right?
Yep.
I'm hoping that they saved themselves when they got beaten.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. It'd be great to see them get a point there. If Arsenal can drop a couple of points, you'd love to see it. Juve versus Dortmund. That'd be a good game of football.
That's the Chats team. Juventus versus Dortmund.
Benfica versus Carrier-Bag.
Carrier-Bag, yeah. The Lifetime Carrier-Bag, they are. I
know the big one, mate. Tottenham versus Villarreal. What are we saying there?
Hard team to break down, mate. I'm telling you that.
Mate, they got Thomas Partey.
Yeah, well, there could be a bit of pillaging going on in the midfield. They've got a strong midfield. Also, they've got the ex-Arsenal player, Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah.
You might remember. And one Spurs old boy, Juan Foyth.
Yeah.
Is there. I'm just trying to think who else. I'm doing
a preview about it later on. They've got a lot of teams, mate. A lot of really good players. They got that Buchanan who plays on the right hand side, who played he was a right wing back for Club Brugge, Canadian right wing back. He played for right wing forward for Canada. He played as a right wing back for Club Brugge a few years ago. He then went to Inter Milan for a year in January 24, I think it was, or January 23. And they had him for a year. He did very well in Inter. Then he went to Villarreal on loan. And then he obviously came back. And then in the summer, they made the deal permanent. He's pacey. He scored 4 goals. I think he scored 2 goals and 2 assists already this season. He's a real threat. But he's a threat down their right-hand side. So you'd hope that Jed Spence is going to be able to pocket him on the right-hand side or on our left-hand side.
It's not going to be easy. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. They also got Ayus Perez, who's a good player. Another speedy winger. I don't think Manor Solomon can play, can he? Or can he?
I didn't know. When I said earlier Manor Solomon didn't make the squad, I completely forgot he went to Villarreal. I'm sure he can't play against us.
Well, you'd like
if
to.
If he does, what he will be able to do, mate, is give away the secrets, right?
Yeah, well. What about Mikadadze?
Yeah, now there's a problem. I'm
surprised you didn't mention him first and foremost, because you've spoken about him quite a bit.
No, Mikadadze's a fucking baller, mate. He's an absolute baller. Mikadadze is going to be. I dread him running around causing all sorts of mischief. You know,
Isn't he going to be
running? Yeah. Well, he plays as a 9, but he'll just drift. He's a bit of a free ball. You know, he just moves around. Very, very difficult to track and to mark. So we shall see. But you know what? We'll do that tomorrow. If we're going to do a show tomorrow morning, we'll do that tomorrow.
We'll do a show tomorrow, and we'll do that one. Don't forget Cremonese. We'll do a quick trip to the fantasy football later. I didn't have a bad week after the disaster of being away and missing the deadline because I forgot I was 2 hours. I got the wrong timings. So I never changed my captain, and I had Richarlison still in my team. But I made up for it this week. We'll come on to that later. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the subscribe button, guys, so many of you come and watch the show, but don't hit subscribe. It's no money involved, but hit the subscribe. It's trying to help us grow. So hit that. And if you're on the audio, please hit follow. Our numbers are growing. Our listening numbers are really growing, but our followers aren't. Lots more listeners, not so many more followers. So if you get a chance, hit that and give us a 5-star review. It'd be fantastic. Sean, I'm going to, I've got my Italian shirt on because my Cremonese shirt is the hardest ticket in town to acquire. Even Cremonese don't have a Cremonese shirt, if you can believe that.
It's Cremin crazy how difficult it is to get hold of one of those bad boys, mate. But guys, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to be back on Spurs Talk Show in an hour to talk a little bit about some of the bits and pieces that I want, the midfield issue and stuff. So come and check me out there. But for now, we're going to send you over to Football Heritage TV. Sava, who always sends his guys our way, so we're going to send you back their way and say, please smash Football Inc. Raid into the chat. I think his show starts in about 5 minutes' time. And I'll see you on Spurs Talk Show in about an hour or so. But we've got a late super chat, a late entrant into the conversation. Big up to you, Mark Shelton. He says, well worth Johnny's quote about our believed Sir Vivian. Beloved Sir Vivian. Yeah.
Go with the wing.
Careful, mate. Listen, Alan Sugar's out there throwing out lawsuits for slander.
I love Vivian. Vivian Lewis all day long.
Vivian Lewis all day long.
Good day, all.
Appreciate you all. We'll see you in a little while. But for now, go over to Football Heritage and type in Football Inc. Raid. Johnny, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. Hit the like button. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Come on, Cremonese.